As we continue along with the Passion reading, we come today to the palace of the high priest. Those who had arrested Jesus brought him to the high priest's house, where the scribes and the elders were assembled. Peter, following him afar off, and so did another disciple. That disciple was known to the high priest and went in with Jesus into the palace of the high priest. But Peter stood outside at the door. So that other disciple, who was known to the high priest, went out and spoke to the doorkeeper and brought Peter in. He went in and sat with the servants to see the end. He was warming himself at the fire they had kindled in the middle of the courtyard. Meanwhile, the chief priests and the whole council were seeking evidence that might make the case for a death sentence, but they could not find any. Many bore false witnesses against Jesus, but their statements did not agree. Two stepped forward and said, "We heard him say, 'I shall destroy this temple made with hands, and after the beginning of the third day, I shall build another, not made with hands.'" But even on this point, their evidence did not agree. Then the high priest stood up, moved to the center, and put this question to Jesus: "Do you have no answer? What is this evidence they have given against you?" But he was silent and gave no answer. Again, the high priest put a question and said to him, "Are you the Christ, the Son of the Blessed?" Jesus said, "I am. You will see the Son of Man seated at the right hand of God's power and coming with the clouds of heaven." The high priest tore his garments and said, "Do we still need any witnesses? You have heard this blasphemy. What is your opinion?" And they all declared that he was liable for death. Then some of them began to spit on him, blindfolded him, struck him, and said to him, "Prophesy to us, O Christ. Who is he that struck you?" And the guards beat him and took him away. Meanwhile, Peter was sitting outside in the courtyard. One of the maidservants of the high priest came and saw Peter warming himself. She looked at him closely as he sat in the light of the fire and said, "You also were along with that man from Nazareth, that Jesus." Peter denied it and said, "I do not know what you mean." And he went out to the forecourt. Another maidservant saw him there and said to those who were standing around, "This man was with Jesus of Nazareth." Jesus denied it with an oath, "I do not know the man." A little later, those standing around said to Peter, "Surely you are one of them. You are a Galilean. Your accent gives you away." Peter took an oath, calling down a curse upon himself. "I do not know the man." And immediately, while he was speaking, the cock crowed a second time. And the Lord turned and looked on Peter. Then Peter remembered what Jesus had said to him: "Before the cock crows twice, you'll deny me 3 times." And he broke down and went out and wept bitterly. As soon as it was morning, the chief priests and the elders and the scribes held the court session with all the Sanhedrin. Then they bound Jesus, led him away, and turned him over to Pilate. Then Judas, who betrayed him, when he saw that he was condemned, was sorry and brought back the 30 pieces of silver to the chief priests and elders, saying, "I have sinned. I have betrayed innocent blood." They said, "What is that to us? That's your affair." Judas threw down the piece of silver in the temple and departed. And then he went and hanged himself. The chief priests took the silver and said, "It's not lawful to put them in the treasury because it is the price of blood." They took counsel and bought with them the potter's field to bury strangers in. That is why to this day that field has been called the field of blood. In this way was fulfilled what was spoken by the prophet Jeremiah, saying, "They took the 30 pieces of silver, the price on him, on whom a price had been set by the children of Israel, and gave them for the potter's field."